In this video, I'm going to give you some insider tips to help you master the real estate assistant interview. I'm going to give you answers to the 5 most common real estate assistant interview questions, and I'm going to give you some insider knowledge on what your interviewer is really looking for in your answer. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm the president of Pro REA Staffing. We are the nation's largest real estate assistant staffing firm, and we've placed over 1,000 assistants in full-time roles across the United States. So if you're looking for a new opportunity in real estate, make sure to go to proreastaffing.com to check out our latest jobs and subscribe to this channel. Now, before we talk about these top 5 real estate assistant interview questions, let's take a minute to talk about your interviewer's wants and fears. Now, it's important to understand that your interviewer, the real estate agent that you're interviewing with, is likely not a very experienced interviewer, and they're probably nervous. They're probably really short on time, and this is a really important decision for them, and they are terrified of making a mistake. So if you understand this and you understand what they're really looking for in their next hire, you can be prepared and you can help them answer the questions that they may not even think to ask you. So no matter what role that you're looking to take on in a real estate office, there's a 99% chance that your interviewer is looking for somebody who is organized, detail-oriented, tech-savvy, fast, flexible, and dependable. So when you prepare for your interview, take the time to sit down and think about some real-world examples of when you demonstrated these qualities. So for example, did you help your last boss go paperless? Did you catch a billing error that saved the company a bunch of money? Did you always finish your work early and have time to help your colleagues with their assignments? Remember to show and not tell. Telling somebody that you're fast, worst thing you can say is that you're a fast learner. Nobody cares. It's much better to show by giving them an example, and that way you really drive the point home. Now let's dive into these top 5 questions you'll likely be asked on a real estate assistant interview. Okay, so question number 1 is, what are your goals? Now, the only right answer to this question is your 100% honest answer. If your goal is to get a job as a real estate assistant because you want to learn everything you can so that in 1 year you can go out and be a sales agent on your own, you should say that. But you also shouldn't be surprised when you don't get called back for a second interview. You see, the thing is, most agents aren't interested in training up somebody who's going to leave them in a year and go sell real estate. However, there are agents who are perfectly on board with that. They might hope that you'll grow into a buyer's agent role on their team, for example. So it's important that you're honest about what you want so that your goals are met by the company. Now, if you're not looking to go into sales, there's a good chance that you fall into one of 2 camps. Either one, you are growth minded. You are looking for a position where you can learn and grow and take on more responsibilities and climb the ladder quickly. Or you might be looking for a stable position. You might love this type of work and you're looking for a stable long-term position with modest growth. Both of these are perfectly admirable and possible, but they're very distinct. So if you're looking for growth, it's important that you drive that point home so that in a year from now, you're not looking for another job again because you're bored doing the same old, same old. And vice versa. If you're looking for stability and modest growth, don't join a company that is growing quickly because you're going to be challenged and you're going to work your tail off every single day. And that might not be what you're looking for at this point in your career. So again, the only right answer to this question is an honest answer, and the only wrong answer is not knowing what you want. Please take a minute to figure out what it is you want so you can articulate that clearly when you're sitting across the desk from an interviewer. Okay, question number 2 is, do you have experience managing listings? Now, if you do have experience managing listings or being a listing coordinator, the correct answer to this question is yes. In fact, my last agent took X number of listings per month I was responsible for preparing them for their listing presentation, entering data into the MLS, coordinating with vendors, sending out e-blasts, scheduling open houses. You get the idea. It's important that you provide details about what you did in the process because every agent does things a little bit differently. And while you might think that you did everything in the listing process, it's possible that this agent does things differently. And if you aren't clear about what you know how to do and what you didn't do, you're setting yourself up for disappointment and frustration during your first 90 days on the job when this agent realizes that they have to train you on things and then they're frustrated and you're frustrated. It's okay that you don't know how to do things their way. That's reasonable. Just make sure that you manage their expectations up front. Now, this same strategy goes for transaction coordination. If you've done TC work, again, details, details, details. What did you do within each transaction? And how many transactions did you manage per month? Now, if you haven't been a listing coordinator or a transaction coordinator, chances are that you have prior experience that is transferable. So make sure to talk about experience that you have following a detailed multi-step process and managing multiple projects at a time. If you've coordinated with multiple parties and you've had to keep everybody informed and on track, if you've reviewed legal documents, if you've coordinated with vendors and managed their work and ensured that deadlines were met, and if you have marketing experience, this is the time to talk about that as well. Listing coordination is essentially project management, marketing, and customer service rolled into one. So help your interviewer connect the dots by talking about your transferable skills and how you can use those skills in this job. Okay, question number 3. What did you do in your last job? Now, think about the things that you did in your last job that are most relevant to your current job. So if you spent 50% of your time answering the phone and filing, that's probably not the first thing you want to talk about if you're looking to do something different in this next role. But if you also helped your boss prepare for meetings and you kept them on track and on time, talk about that. Think about the things that are important to your interviewer that you have experience doing in your past jobs and focus in on those areas of your responsibility. Okay, number 4, do you have experience setting up systems? Now, when somebody asks you this question, what they're really asking is, are you able to observe a process in an office setting that's inefficient? Are you able to organize it into a series of steps, document those steps on a checklist, and then get all of the other stakeholders on board and compliant with your new process? Make sure when you talk about systems that you talk about the why and the outcome. So don't just say, I, I set up Google Drive for the office. Okay, fine. A much better answer to that question is, I noticed that we had documents on different computers and that sometimes we had multiple copies of documents. Therefore, I set up a Google Drive account. I brought all of the documents onto the Drive account and I created a naming protocol so that we had a standardized way that we named things. I showed everybody how to use it. I downloaded the app onto my boss's phone so that she always had access to our documents. By doing this, we cut down on unnecessary communication, and my boss was so much more independent when I wasn't available on nights and weekends. You see how much more powerful that is? It's important to remember that your agent is very good at some things, and creating systems likely isn't one of them, and that's why they're hiring you. So think about examples in your past where you organized a system, created a process, created a checklist, documented how things are supposed to be done, because that is a huge part of what you'll be doing in a real estate office. Question number 5, why do you want to work for me? Now, this isn't a real estate specific question, but man, do people mess this one up when it comes to interviewing for real estate assistant jobs. Look, on the surface, a real estate assistant job seems pretty similar to every other job description, but each of these jobs is incredibly unique because of the person or the team that you work for. So do your homework. figure out what is it about this particular agent or team that resonates with you. Do they throw really great client parties and you love to throw a good party, and so you want to help them do that? Or maybe they volunteer for a charity that you're really passionate about and you can connect with them on that level. Your interviewer is asking you this question because they're trying to figure out how you're going to fit into their organization and if you're going to be a good culture fit, and if you have a real deep reason for wanting to work for them or you're just looking for a job. Make them feel special and let them know that you're really interested in them and this opportunity and not just getting a job. If you master these 5 questions, you will be well on your way to wowing your next interviewer. And if there are any questions that I didn't talk about here that you want help answering, leave them in the comments below and I will reply. And hopefully I can help you master your interview. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Go to proreastaffing.com to check out our current jobs, and I will see you on the next video.